I'm sure that Stompin' Tom was referring to the guy sitting beside me in the hockey song when he said Bobby scores. Bobby Orr is here. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Nice to meet
you.
you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
First of all, I noticed the helmets on the table. This is something that you're pretty passionate about, called Chevrolet Safe and Fun Hockey Program. You, Mike Bossy, Cassie Campbell have been strong representatives of this program for a couple of years now.
We've been 12 years into it.
Is that right?
That's we started. I went to GM 14 years ago and came up with an idea about this program, and our message is quite simple. We just believe that every child, male or female, that wants to play our great game should be able to play in a safe and fun environment. And unfortunately, that's not happening with some of our kids.
No.
It's not just for the elite. You know, minor sports in the community is supposed to be for fun and recreation for everybody. And you know, I think back to my minor hockey days. They're some of my fondest memories. And unfortunately, for some kids, that's not the case.
Your minor hockey days, though, were pretty short. Because what, 14?
I left.
You were out the door.
I left when I was 14. But the advice my father gave me when I was coming along, people would come to my father and say, "God, your kid's going to be in the NHL." And my dad would come to me and say, "Look, go out and play and have fun. We'll see what happens." And I wish more parents would look at it like that.
I know, and that had a large impact on you throughout your junior hockey career and your pro career. The way your dad and you as a family approached this whole thing, because
absolutely,
when you came along, Bobby, it was something different. There was a kind of a shift in the way people looked at young hockey players, and
it's different.
Made a difference that way.
It's different today. The coverage today, I mean, and the kids are these travel teams. I mean, I played on an all-star team, but we didn't travel and play as much as the kids are playing today, and I don't think it's necessary that they play as much as they're playing. I think it's important that they play other sports, other coaches, other kids, other parents, and I know some of your viewers might be thinking, "Oh, what do we do?" Those people that run the leagues, the parents, the coaches, and the officials on the ice. We have to all work together to make sure it's a good experience for every kid, and it should be a good experience for every kid. And unfortunately, it's not for some kids.
It shouldn't be as stressful as it is.
Correct.
And it's stressful on everybody, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. If you go into some rinks, and I mean, I've got files of stories I pick up just randomly reading papers and seeing stories about silliness. I mean, a few years ago in Boston, a father killed another father at a pickup game.
That's right.
Just outrageous. Think about that coach. That coach is putting this kid on the ice, and he's putting him on the power play, or he's putting him in the pitch hit. And whatever that coach does, whatever he says, how he responds, how he reacts, the kid's saying, must be right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I mean, we say to our kids all the time, you're responsible. You have a responsibility. Well, those coaches, those parents in the stands, those people that run the leagues, and those officials on the ice have huge responsibilities also, and it's an important responsibility. I'm handing my kid over to you.
Yeah, exactly. Is that your major concern with the game as it is right now? Because, you played hockey as a young man. At a young age, you were in junior hockey. You were a young man in the National Hockey League. Your career was cut short by injury, but you became a player agent. You've seen it all. You've seen hockey from one side to the other. What's your major concern with the game right now?
Our concern right now is getting into kids early. I mean, teach them the fundamentals of the game, yes, but instill good values like being responsible, being respectful. You have volunteers coming to work with you. Say thank you once in a while. Those volunteers don't get paid. The easiest thing in the world for them to do is to go home. They're out there to try to help make you better people and better hockey players. And frankly, anybody involved with any of our kids in any sport, the question should be asked, what are your goals this season? And if the answer is anything else but I want to help develop better people, then they shouldn't be able to work. They shouldn't be working with our kids. The number one goal should be to develop better people. Teach the fundamentals. If your kid's got it, I'm going to guarantee you he's going to get a chance, and only a chance.
When you have young men and you're representing them, as you have for many years now, is something you try to instill in them, not just get the best deal for your player, which is your job.
Yeah, but I want them to be good people.
You want
good person.
To instill
I want a good
values.
person. I want to instill values, and the thing that's happening with our young kids, the key to any success I had was that love and passion I had for the game. I never had that taken out of me.
And that's pure, right?
I never had that. I couldn't wait to practice. I couldn't wait to get on the ice. I loved it. I couldn't wait to get a hockey stick in my hands. And what we're doing with some of our kids today is, because of the foolishness, the pressures, every kid should have ice time. They're not playing. They're just not having any fun, and they're walking away. I never lost that. And if I tell our kids anything, it's don't ever lose you know, when they're young, they have such a passion for the game,
Yeah.
such a love
I know,
for the game.
and it's so simple, eh?
Don't ever lose that.
There's
and,
no complication to it at all.
And our concern today, and the reason with our Chevrolet program, Safe and Fun program, is you know, we take 5 to 8-year-olds, and it's been proven that that's a very impressionable age.
Yeah.
And we hope to instill good values early. It's like our helmet program. We hooked up with Bauer Hockey last year.
Yeah.
We gave, for last year, the 06 kids, first-year kids, 5-year-olds, we gave over 15,000 helmets. This year, there'll be 07 kids and beginners.
Yeah.
And we hope to go over the 20,000 helmet mark
Is that right?
this year. Yeah, we think we'll
And you go across the country doing this.
We go across the country doing the program. We've had great support from so many people, and gentlemen like you, networks and so on, have been really supportive.
You know, I remember last year Chevrolet sent me one of the helmets to show off on the show and so on, and you know, it's important to do because you know, all of us, well, a good many of us were young hockey players at one point, and to have that support from a major company and a major hockey person like yourself,
but, you know,
has an impact.
Safety. I mean, you know, they're car people. They're concerned about safety, and we're concerned about safety in our sport.
We're seeing some highlights of your career there. Did you ever look back at this video or anything like that?
I look at some video. I'm not a person that goes and pulls out the video.
I know you're not.
I don't do that.
But I wonder how you look back on your career. I wonder how, like, I know that beautiful picture, and you just signed one for Ryan, and I got to get one before you go. That beautiful picture, and I remember it to this day watching that game with my dad, and it's one of my favorite hockey moments. And you've met my dad, actually, because he was in the same business. But I wonder how you reflect on it.
I really reflect on playing professional sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a
was it a
such
dream
a life.
come
It was
true
a dream.
for you?
Well, I mean, growing up in a young kid in Canada, your dream is playing NHL and to be on a Stanley Cup team.
Yeah.
And
even
so on.
with all the hype when you were 14, 15, and all that?
I never thought about it. I mean, I go back to that love and passion. That's all I thought about. I wanted to be a hockey player. You know, talking about the goal, you know, Glenn Hall was the goalie.
Yeah.
And every time I see Glenn, or often when I see Glenn, he'll say, "Is that the only goal you ever scored?" Which is a great line.
But people love that
great
picture,
line,
right?
Great line, yes.
There's so many photographs of it, and there's paintings of it, and everywhere you go, I know in Boston, everywhere you go, you see that, and you know, it's got to be one of those iconic moments, not only in Canadian hockey history, but in hockey history itself.
It was a great moment, but most importantly, it was the final game, Stanley Cup in Boston. They hadn't had a Stanley Cup, I think, 29 years, and being part of that team, obviously, it was a thrill.
Was that when you went flying over Glenn Hall's stick? Was that a leap, or did you get tripped up, or was it just the motion of going across the front of the net?
Well, I was going across, and Noel Picard had his stick under my skate. He was lifting, but I was also jumping because I had gone by. The puck had gone in, and I knew it was in. I knew it was in. So
you knew it was in when you leaped.
I was celebrating also.
Oh, what a fantastic moment! Could you believe that was happening to you?
No. From Parry Sound, and a dream come true.
And the people of Boston, I mean, they so embraced you, as they do, right? As they do. It's a fantastic city, and to bring that cup to Boston was super important at the time, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and I think the person that had the most fun was my father.
Did he ever?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that always the way?
A cute story of my dad. He came home and I said, "He had a couple suits, right?" I said, "Where are your suit coats?" I said, "I think I gave them away."
So he was at the game?
Oh, he was at the game. He was in the parade. He had a blast, and it was really special. I mean, like, you see a lot of fathers when you see in the dressing rooms after championship games and so on, and it was great to have my father there.
What else, we have 1 minute left. What else are you up to these days? I mean, obviously you're traveling around promoting the hockey program with Chevrolet. What else do you do? I
do a little work with MasterCard, and of course with General Motors. I've been with General Motors for many years, and our Chevrolet program is a program that I really enjoy. And this 14 years ago, I went to General Motors, and we decided on Chevrolet being the sponsor with the program, and we've been operating 12 years now. And it's been a great program.
And I know you love doing it.
Love doing it, love being with the kids, and someone said to me the other day, the kids don't recognize you. I said, no, I know they don't know who I am, but our goal in our camps is to make sure that the kids, when they leave there, take one thing away from them.
Yeah.
About being respectful, being responsible, being a good person. Say thank you. And I want them to leave that camp saying, oh, this guy Bob is my friend.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
And I know it really is of no concern to you whether or not they know who you
No,
are.
not at all.
No,
Not at all.
You're just a hockey guy.
A hockey guy.
Pleasure,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
Nice being with you.
Nice
Thank
to see
you.
you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you. Bobby Orr, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be upstairs on the Team
Yes,
1200
yes,
and CF Ray, I do
Yes.
believe, too. So you can tune in to listen to more conversation with Bobby Orr.